is here. Now broadcasting from the wide open spaces of McClendon, Chisholm, Texas, deep in the bowels of a hidden bunker somewhere under the brick and steel of a nondescript building, we've once again made contact with the greatest threat to Rockwall County's liberal left, a true conservative and our leader, Bunker Bob.
Well, that's right. Good afternoon. This is the recap of today's show. Today we had many things to talk about, and for those of you who just don't have time to watch a full show, I get it. I understand, so that's why I'm doing this recap, to make it very simple for you to understand what's going on in your city. And I began today's show by focusing on the fact that your taxes are going to be going up, city taxes, that is. Thanks to House Bill 852, it's my understanding that Justin Holland, state representative of Rockwall, from Rockwall, is the one who proposed it. It basically is going to eliminate the ability of cities to charge building fees that allow and protect the cities and are a huge source of most cities' incomes, especially McClendon Chisholm. So because the city council has done nothing to focus on getting those who are in the unincorporated area of our fire district to start contributing to their own fire safety, because you pay for it, even though more than half of the calls go outside of the city. Even though the fire department is funded entirely by you, they contribute nothing to it. And we're obligated to do that because the city council continues to obligate itself to a county contract that requires that the city serve those in the unincorporated area, thanks to a small pittance of money, $67,500, when really the city could fulfill that obligation of going out and serving those in the unincorporated area whenever their house is actually on fire or their field is actually on fire. Once that's been confirmed, but what I have proposed when I was mayor and city council is that those in the unincorporated area begin to contribute to their own public safety and their own fire safety by creating a membership where if you want the enhanced services that the city of citizens of McClendon Chisholm, the taxpayers, pay for, then you'll have to pay for it through a membership. Of course, this city council has no desire whatsoever to do something like that, because if they did, then they would be actually fiscally responsible. They are not ready for this. They are not ready for this bill that's been enacted by the House, that's been signed into law by the governor, and it will be a big surprise to them tonight. They're going to be dealing with that during city council meeting, and I have no doubt that they are not going to have any idea what to do except blame a lot of people and ignore all of the warning signs that I and others gave them and the mayor. But the bottom line, their solution is going to be, no doubt, raising your taxes, your tax rate. So even though you elected people who said that they would keep your taxes low, you can be guaranteed that will not happen. So just watch and learn. I also dealt with an issue that where the city council decided that members of a single member of a city council cannot put something on the agenda. That they have to have two members of the city council. I highlighted the fact that this is going to create a real problem for them. They don't realize it because basically they're going to find themselves in violation of the Texas Open Meetings Act, because if one member of the city council doesn't want to agree and join with them in putting something on the agenda, then they're going to have to go to another member of the council to do it. And that is the definition of a violation of the Texas Open Meetings Act, because they will be discussing something that is going to be on the agenda that can be brought before the citizens. But pay no mind to that. They also don't realize, because they just don't care to know, that there is precedent established in the courts that guarantee the right of any member of city council to place anything on the agenda, and it cannot be violated. So if the mayor wants to try to play that, and you actually get a conservative back on council, and they try to keep that member from putting things on the agenda, guess what? The city can find itself in a lawsuit, and that could have been prevented just by keeping the resolution that we had established when I was mayor, that established that any member of city council can put something on the agenda if they wish to do so. Also focused on the fact that Jim Bloom created something called a housekeeping. He basically rewrote a resolution for the 50th anniversary of celebration that Adrian Balcom created. And what he said, and I showed you on the show, that you actually see him make the proposal, you see the actual vote where they don't have any discussion. Jim Bloom says basically Adrian Balcom's name was on there. We just modified it so that her name's not on it. It's the same resolution, which is a lie, a complete and utter lie. And you will see that not only can people who are not in the city be a part of this, and that they are also have no obligation, no responsibility, no fiscally, they have no oversight. This committee can spend money and can do whatever it wants without oversight, thanks to your new mayor pro tem, Jim Bloom. And then we've also highlighted Providence Academy, Christian Academy, that is using the Chisholm Baptist Church as its location. Providence Christian Academy basically is a collegiate model of school that currently has 77 students. Well, they eventually want to hopefully get to 300. And they're using Chisholm Baptist Church, which was designed and built for 300 to 400 people. And you have idiots. Sorry, that's the only thing I can say. But you have people who are standing up, like former Mayor Mike Donegan, who says, "How are you going to deal with the sanitation, the septic? Can you really handle that much?" And remember, this is a church that TxDOT had a meeting there with almost 300 people, and it did fine, by the way. But also, you have Gary Moody, who says that TxDOT, we need TxDOT to do a study for the sake of the kids. This is ignoring the fact that TxDOT has already done a study. But again, these guys love to hear themselves talk. So basically, the application was turned down because of some really ridiculous questions. Providence Christian Academy is going to be, the city council is getting into the sticks, into the weeds for this Christian school that basically wants to use a church as its facility. That they're going to meet Monday, Wednesday, Friday. They have 77 students now. And they're probably never going to reach the 300 mark by the time that they're at that size. They'll find their own location, but they kept them down to 125 students because they're concerned about septic and the TxDOT, how that's going to interfere with kids' safety. On and on, nonsense. Then, of course, the PID administrator. I wanted to focus. We focused on those of you who are part of Sonoma Verde, who live in Sonoma Verde. The PID administrator, the Rockwall County Appraisal District, instead of the Rockwall County Appraisal District has essentially chosen winners and losers. They've chosen a private company that they will work with, and that only that company will they work with. So despite the fact that the city of McClendon-Chisholm has been using Municap, the CAD will not work with them anymore. And they will only work with one company called P3 Works. And instead of working with other cities like Rockwall and Royce City and others that are using other PID administrators, and working together to call out the Rockwall County Appraisal District, our city council is basically saying, forget it. We'll just go with P3 Works. It's a done deal on that. So just know that those of you who are in the city of or who are in Sonoma Verde, you will still see that on your tax rolls. And if you want more information, watch the show today. I'll put a time code on there. And finally, the brick campaign for the memorial, for Veterans Memorial, has been taken over by veterans, but they are going to basically leave the city in the lurch. The long-term maintenance of this monument has still not been determined and won't be determined. Why? Because they want to create a brick campaign to honor a few people who are too cheap to buy a $150 brick that would go to fund long-term maintenance of of the monument that was placed to honor all who served. But that wasn't good enough for people like Mike Donegan, Gary Moody, and the Kippets. All of these people who and of course we can't forget Herman Larkin. These are the ways that these people are going to play politics with anything, including veterans as well. So that is basically the recap for today, and I hope that it was helpful. If you want more information, I will be placing that on the description of the longer show, so you can go and find the time code of what I'm talking about. And of course, I will be doing a show on Thursday, every Mondays and Thursdays. Today was an exception because yesterday was Memorial Day. I know that this show is just a little bit longer because basically I'm still working out the kinks, but understand I'll be trimming off the front and back of these shows. So if you watch it live, it may be just a few minutes longer than I say it's going to be. But regardless, I look forward to seeing you on Thursday, and I hope that this information is helpful. We'll see you then. Thanks again, and have a great day.